Hello and good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Boleros podcast. I'm here. I'm Gab. I'm here with Sam, and Maui's back. He's not
I'm back. Thank
busy
you.
Hey
anymore.
Mau, welcome back, sir.
So we're recording this. We've already watched around 3 days of UAAP basketball. So that's October 1, 2, and Wednesday, October 5. So each team has played around 2 games each. And we're going to keep it simple for this episode. We're going to go through each team. Instead of going through each game, we're going to go through each team and maybe uh, get one observation per person here into each team so that we cover each of the UAAP teams in this first week of games, so that we don't, because we're surely gonna ignore some of the bottom teams as the season goes on. We want to give them some screen time here in the Boleros podcast. So let's start. So I guess let's start at the bottom of the standings. So surprisingly, at the bottom of the standings, given that we're watching this on a Saturday and Adamson just won, at the bottom is FEU. So, Sam, what have you observed so far with the FEU Tamaraos in the first 2 games?
Um, I think sa akin, when we talked about FEU, sabi natin they were going to miss the Final Four, no? The last
Yeah,
time we
you
talked
had them
about
as
it,
your bust.
yeah, exactly. So I actually had FEU as my bust. So, um, so far, mukhang totoo, no? Kasi they actually gave Ateneo a hard time, to be honest. Pero yung UE beat FEU, so that sounds like a bust to me. Pero actually for me, yung observation ko is like FEU is a scrappy team. And to be honest, dalawa yung talo nila, but you know what? They're way better than what I expected, to be honest with you. Patrick Sleep tsaka si Anyo Nuevo look like really solid contributors to the team this year. Gab, alam ko you're really high on sino yung isang guard nila?
Si Royce
Uh,
Alforque.
Yeah, Royals are four.
Royce
Alforque.
Alforque.
Alforque is also solid. I think consistency lang yung kulang dito. Pero I'm actually higher on FEU now. Yun yung observation ko. Like
Having seen them play, having seen them play,
having
you
have
think they're
having seen them played, kahit dalawa yung talo nila, they're doing better than what I expected. Like just as a team, because I did not expect Patrick Sleek to be this much of a contributor. Si ano din, Anyo
he's been pretty
Nuevo,
good.
hindi ko
He's
siya
been pretty good.
Patrick Sleet talagang I think he's the number two right now, to be honest with you. Anyo Nuevo is like uber athletic and strong. I think medyo foul prone lang siya. Baka gigil pa siya. Um First 2 games, sabog si Cyrus Torres, I think. So hopefully, like when he gets hot or when he stabilizes, I think that would be a big help for FEU. But yeah, like for me, honestly, like it's weird, no? Two losses, they lost to UEPA, but you know what? I'm kind of higher on FEU now than I was last week. To be honest with you, I don't. It doesn't make sense, pero yun lang, just from my observations.
Maui,
Ako naman, ang tingin
anything?
ko, FEU, historically kasi very consistent program ang FEU. But the question right now is with the absence of Abarientos who went to Korea, who will be the number two or number one guy? Si Gonzalez obviously is the number one guy. And Patrick Sleet and Anuevo is sort of both games parang nag-alternate sila. But I'm expecting more from Cyrus Torres. He will probably get hotter. So far kasi medyo bust pa yung three-point shot niya. He's known as a very good three-point shooter. He had a game-winning three-pointer last year. But hopefully I think they can make the final four, but it's very tough right now. They lost their first 2 games, and the other game was against UEPA. So we'll see with their next 5 games. hopefully they jive more. Yun naman sa akin yung sa FEU.
Yeah, and as we're talking right now, FU is now on top against UP. They've come back. They're now on top by 2 points, which is crazy.
20-6 run.
Yep. So, ako same lang din, Sam. Just my note is that I've been surprised with Patrick's lead. Really impressive. Great attacking the basket, has a consistent mid-range shot, not as much as an outside shot. And yes, Cyrus Torres cannot hit anything. He cannot hit a single shot. He shoots a lot and he cannot hit anything. So eventually,
Medyo low of average
shooters
din yan.
yeah,
Tama,
tatama
tama,
Maui.
shooter
Yung
shoot.
low of averages and he will eventually hit something. So I do expect that a couple of wins are going FEU's way. And yes, historically, also the Rasela-led teams are slow starters. Uh, Last season, they were a slow starter too. So it's let's hope they don't stay at the bottom because I still think what we said in the last episode, Sam's going to hold true, that they're going to fight for that number 4 slot in the final four. So next, let's go to Adamson. What have you observed from Adamson in the first 2 games? Well, first 3 games since they've just finished playing.
I think the
Maui.
biggest question right now with Adamson is who will be, like FEU, who will be the second guy outside Lastimosa.
Mhm.
Adamson won kanina, but sa Bandal had a very good game. But the question that lingers throughout the season will be who will be that second guy. Right now, grabe yung coverage kay Lastimosa. If you watch the UP game, they
Yeah.
were constantly double teaming and trapping him even outside of the 3-point line, very close to the half court line. So Adamson, if they want if they want to continue to be a contender for the final four, has to find other people to be consistent. I was pretty high. You guys know that I was pretty high on AP Manlapas, but unfortunately, I think he still cannot get healthy. Yeah.
Sam.
Alam mo, malas talaga nung manlapas na yun, no? First game na first game na injury, kawawa.
Ano nga ba injury niya? I wasn't able to read up on that.
I think yung injury
Paano?
niya originally ACL ata siya.
ACL.
So
Oh.
when you injure your ACL kasi maraming area susceptible to compensate for the damage.
You would know.
Yeah, as an experienced ACL, as I tore my ACL also before, different parts of your body tend to compensate when that portion of your
Yes.
knee is not strong enough. And if for a guy that's as athletic as AP
Athletic.
Manlapas, yeah, I think very very crucial na maging healthy yung knee niya.
Sam,
Yeah. So,
you were saying something.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, yun lang, malas si AP Manlapas. Honestly, so they won earlier, pero just going back to FEU, like if I compare yung Adamson tsaka FEU, I picked Adamson as hindi, fifth pala sabi ko, but Adamson would battle for fourth. So I'm worried about Adamson, to be honest. I'm more worried about Adamson than FEU. Just because I feel like si Sleet and si Año Nuevo were like really really good nung first 2 games nila. Even Alforque, with Adamson, parang I really don't know kung sino yung that other teammate na maaasahan ni Jerome Lastimosa. Sa banda should be that guy, pero may moments siya na super cold siya eh. I think it was the first game or the second game na parang first half wala siyang ma-shoot. He couldn't make anything. Hanapi is also like not consistent. Lendo Duanga, hindi naman talaga siya go-to sa offense nila. He just finds his shots. Si Baby Boy also didn't do so well. Ngayong third game lang siya medyo nag-contribute. So, honestly, like, for me, I'm just more worried about Adamson now. So, if I had to, like, rearrange my predictions, I would put FEU higher than Adamson in just first two games. Parang it's just two games, but I think FEU is much better than Adamson. Just watching them right now.
I think you guys hit it spot on sa Adamson. It's kind of deja vu from last season. Same stories talaga. Jerome Lastimosa will carry them for certain stretches, maybe in the first half to the third quarter. And then once the opposing team sort of figures out that their offense is just Jerome Lastimosa, they'll just do everything they can to stop him, and then just let everyone else try to carry Adamson, and they won't be able to, and they haven't been able to. I think Maui made a great point. No UP game, they were up by 15 in the first half, and then broke down in the second half when UP went away from the zone. I don't know why they went zone in the first place, but they went zone. But when they went man to man, it was over for Adamson, and they trapped Jerome Lastimosa every single time. And that's my thing with Coach Nash. I know Coach Nash is a championship coach. He's a very good coach, but you gotta be more creative on offense, no? UP were just running the same defensive scheme over and over. They were running the pick and roll for Jerome, and then tinatrap nila si Jerome every time. Tapos no alternative play was happening. Nothing was happening different. No off-ball movement to get Jerome free. Kung si Jerome na talaga yung offense nyo. Pero wala. So frustrating to watch that game kasi sobrang paulit-ulit. Same thing was happening for the Adamson offense. Same thing was happening to the UP defense, and no adjustments were being made. They got to be more creative on offense. They can't just rely on Jerome Lastimosa each and every play. Hindi talaga niya kaya. And you can see nung end ng game na yun, sobrang pagod na si Jerome Lastimosa. He was walking. Once he gave up the ball, he just walked off. He just walked off to the corner. Because he was tired already. He carried the offense for the entire game. There has to be some adjustments talaga for Adamson. And yes, Sam, I am worried about them. They're gonna have to scrap for wins in this season. Because no one's easy.
Yeah. Yeah, wala akong stats dito pero just from my observation, once umupo si Jerome Lastimosa, parang the offense goes down the drain. Honestly, like there's no reliable like other guard or other go-to guy that can sort of not consistent, no. Sabal probably is like the closest pero not as consistent. Yeah, yun lang for Adamson. Sad for him. Sad for them.
Sad. Sad talaga. Now let's go to someone in the middle of the next team, surprisingly, who won their first game. Let's go to UE. Sammy, may note ka ba sa UE? We barely talked about UE in season 84. Let's talk about them now. They won their first game.
Second game, di ba? They won their second game against with FEU. UE.
They won their
second game.
Their first game in how many season for the first time in how many games?
Ano ba? 15 game losing streak? Tama ba?
Yeah, 15 game losing streak.
Okay. Ano ba masasabi ko kay UE? Kilala ko na yung magaling na Paranada, si Kyle Paranada, yung magaling kasi when we did our UE draft, gusto ko pumili ng Paranada pero hindi ko maalala kung sino yung magaling. Ngayon naalala ko na, si Kyle Paranada. Although he was cold this game, I think talking about the game earlier against Adamson, kung ano yung ininit niya nung game against FEU, ganun siya kalamig sa Adamson. But what can I say? Scrappy team, Kyle Paranada, talagang I think sa UE talagang they live and die by the three. So that like last game against FEU, they could not miss. Like wala silang ma-miss talaga na 3-point shot last game. Kahit anong step back fade away na bato nila pasok. But today in this game, although humabol sila, to be fair, they had like really bad shooting percentage at 3-point shot until nung medyo humabol sila. I forgot the guy na pumasok and then like shot like 3 straight threes nung bandang fourth quarter. But yeah, this team lives and dies by the three. Kyle Paranada, is probably like the guy that will determine kung mananalo sila or hindi. Kung mainit sila, may chance. Kung hindi siya mainit, goodbye. Goodbye. Yun lang naman for me.
Maui.
Me, I think UE, the question is really consistency. Right now kasi they don't have pa yung main guy. Kyle Paranada could be, Harvey Pagsanghan could be, but it's really about them finding their identity early in the season. They surprisingly defeated yung FEU, but again they lost 15, 16 straight games previously. So nowhere to go but up sa UE. But at least I think many people were writing them off early on, and hopefully we see them succeed more sa season na to. Uh, but yeah, to me the main question is really who will be the guy. Your team always has to have that guy that would lead you through those tough situations, and yung consistent every game na nagpupuntos talaga nung crucial points and papatay ng sunog ng mga big runs. But hopefully, as I've said, nowhere to go but up naman yung UE right now.
Sorry,
Uh,
masingit lang.
go.
I think isang difference lang with the team now. At least meron na silang malaki. Si Stevens ba yun?
Si
Yung galing
Stevens.
UST.
Stevens. Yanni Stevens, yeah.
I think
Yanni
I
Stevens.
think big difference maker siya. Like kahit hindi naman siya offensively like big contributor. I think just the fact na may strong big body na sila. I think because of that, if he was there sa team last year when they almost beat Lasal, baka nanalo sila sa Lasal. They wouldn't have been out-rebounded by Baltazar and by Phillips by 40 rebounds or something. Pero so, I think that would be a big contribution for them. Just having that big, solid body at center.
That's true though. You were talking about identity Maui, and I think they have a semblance of it. They play spread out basketball. So when Stevens is inside, they play 4 out, 1 in, and just pick and roll and just kick out and shoot a lot of threes. And then when Stevens is not in the game, they have this other guy. I'm trying to remember his name. Villegas. Luis Villegas.
Yung stretch big.
Yeah, yeah, they have a stretch big, so they play 5 out when Stevens is not in the game. So, and he's a pretty good shooter. And they have this other guy, the guy you said shot a lot of threes. Payawal?
Oo nga eh.
Payawal?
Yun. Payawal. Payawal ba?
Yeah, he's a pretty good stroke. He has a pretty good stroke. I think in the game a while ago, he hit like 3 straight threes at one point.
So, sa fourth quarter, yeah.
They got some players. Contrary to our beliefs, they have players who can shoot, who can score. Harvey Pagzahan has not scored a lot this season, so maybe he can improve on his showing and then give Kyle Paranada that needed assistance. And just a short note on Kyle Paranada. Sobrang love ko yung confidence ng batang to. Tina-trash talk niya lahat ng tao sa court. Lahat na lang, side step 3, step back 3, lahat na lang tinitira niya. Sobrang love ko yung confidence. He plays like Steph Curry. Bato lang ng bato. Nung FEU po, pasok lahat eh. So, nanalo sila. So, but kanina wala. So, but I love the guy's confidence.
Okay. Just to close on UE, no? I really love yung bagong bio kapag nag-free throw yung mga tao. Meron sila yung last year, I think parang hobby last season. Ngayon, UAAP idol. Tapos, I don't know if you notice, yung UAAP idol ni Kyle Paranada, alam nyo kung sino? Si Nico Paranada. Inilagay ng UAAP idol niya. Kapatid niya. Sobrang laugh trip. Gago nito. Tawa when I saw that. Sobrang interesting yung mga UAAP.
Yung parang yung last season, Sam, do you remember this? I think it was someone from Adamson or NU na what's your hobby? Tapos nilagay niya basketball.
Basketball.
Sa utak ko, no shit! Come on, man! Get
Yeah.
something more
Whoever thought of
creative,
this,
man!
whoever thought of this UAAP bio, genius, genius. Okay, next
Okay,
team,
so
Gab.
on that note, let's move to UST. What have you seen so far from UST? They've had two games, a win against, who did they win against?
Adamson.
Adamson, and a loss against LaSalle on Wednesday. So let's go with Maui first. Maui, what did you see from UST so far?
The Caballero show. Ni Caballero. Wherever ni Caballero goes, they go. Yun yung mangyayari sa USC this year, I think. But the game against LaSalle, I was surprised because Caballero had a very strong start, but he struggled afterwards. But they still, they were able to keep the game close. I was actually surprised nung halftime, very close nga yung game.
Yeah.
So, same with UE, I think UST can surprise a lot of teams. They have surprised a team already, similar to UE. But I think it's very fun for the UAAP na lahat ng teams will be competitive. I think most of us thought na parang locked in na yung Final Four. But FEU lost their first two games but were very close with Ateneo. So teams like UST and UE, I'm sure will be able to surprise other teams. But so far, it's really the Caballero show for me.
Sam.
Yeah, same for me. If you mentioned si Kyle Paranada had so much confidence and trash talked everyone. This si Nick Cabanero, nakita mo ba yung first game niya against Adamson? Every time maka-end one siya, flex lang siya ng flex. Grabe confidence. This guy is a 19-year-old sophomore, tapos fine-flex niya lahat ng tao, tapos sobrang grabe yung energy ni sinistare down din niya yung mga tao. I love his confidence. I love his energy. They're going to fight. One thing though, like to Maui's point, like he was good nung start ng Lasal, and then nung I think he sat down, and then when he came back, ang napansin ko lang is just he was really forcing the issue. Medyo humahabol pa yung UST noon pero like he kept forcing the issue, and
Yeah.
sometimes
He was
he
trying
was
to step.
annoying to watch. Yeah. Yeah. So parang like just play within the system. Um I think this is a young and scrappy team. And for me, alam mo, just from my observations, parang okay na coach si Bal David. Parang nakikita ko like
Yeah.
he inspires the people. Like I see yung na lip read ko siya, parang good job, gumaganon siya. And he seems chill, no? Parang kalmado lang siya kahit na yun nga when Lasal made
Total
the run
opposite
is
of
medyo
Alden Ayo.
right, right.
I think
Total
I think
opposite.
So go
sorry,
ahead,
Sam,
Maui,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I think just to add yung kay Baldavid, I think Baldavid's the perfect person to resurrect the UST program. Similar to when Pido Harencho entered before, I think Baldavid is able to connect with his players. Tsaka parang parang to be honest, parang lang siya, hindi siya mukhang coach pa eh. Mukha siyang
Mukha
freshly
bata,
retired.
no?
Oh, mukha siyang bata. Mukhang which is
Bagets.
why bagets, which is why I think yung nakaka-connect talaga siya sa players niya, which is why UST despite entering this season as with not so much expectations from everyone, is playing with a lot of confidence. Kaya si Caballero is very confident
Right.
also.
Right.
So
Yeah,
hopefully,
yeah, yun lang. Yun lang for me, like yun yung observation ko. Just vibe of the team and yung vibe ni Bal David. I mean, honestly, sorry like tama si Maui. I think Bal David is a good fit also because alumnus siya. So I think may factor din yun.
tama.
That respect,
Pero
no, that you get from the school and from
exactly.
the crowd, the
Exactly.
fans.
But to be honest with you, like I wasn't expecting much from Bal David. Parang hindi naman superstar point guard to sa Hinebra nung time niya. Like he's like a Derek Fisher. Like he's a solid starting point guard in a championship team. Pero wasn't expecting much
He's
from
known for that
him.
one shot sa Ginebra, diba? He's known
Exactly.
for that one.
Exactly.
Yun lang.
Just like a Derek Fisher. But you know, honestly, like I I I'm I'm a believer in Valladolid now. Parang just observing him coach people and yung demeanor niya um very inspiring. You can see na very positive yung vibe sa UST this year.
Good points to both of you. So yeah, I do agree with most of your points. Just some observations I had with UST. Yes, it is the Nick Caballero show. The second half against LaSalle, you were right, Sam. I mean, LaSalle had him marked, and yet he was still trying to force everything. But I guess they have no choice because he is the offense of UST. He's just like Adamson. Jerome is the offense for UST. Nick Caballero is the offense. And my last note, their their student athlete, their foreign student athlete, Faye. This guy's huge. Have you seen his yung guns niya? Grabe. Sure. How old is he? I gotta ask lang. How old is this guy? Are we sure he's under 25?
He's under 25.
Parang si Karim Abdul lang before, no? May lingering
Oh,
issues.
yeah.
Yeah.
Are we sure? I mean, come on. This guy is not under 25. This guy is huge. He looks like he has a family already or whatever. Sobrang laki ng tao. Okay. Yun lang. And he had really impressive dunks, by the way, against LaSalle.
Yeah.
So, a
Sobrang
side note.
gigil si Kuya.
Oh, so, okay. That's it for UST. Let's go to NU. The NU Bulldogs. What I've seen so far, Sam. They were both of our top dark horse pick for this season in our last episode. What have you seen so far from NU?
Alam mo, NU yung parang wala akong masyadong like observations from like NU. Maybe also because hindi pa sila complete. They're missing Steve Nash Enriquez. I sort of want to see he was one of the guys that I was really looking forward to watching this year with NU. I want to see how he develops and if he can really lead the team. Last year kasi medyo limited playing time siya and he's really small, 'di ba? So I want to see Steve Nash play before I can really um judge yung NU. Um Other than that, sino bang nag-stand out na player sa akin sa NU? I think this parang wala eh. That's the thing for me. Parang wala masyadong standout. I think
Yes.
it's
Same
a
observations.
team that has to play team basketball for them to win and for them to succeed. But they have a really good coach that I think can manage that. Pero yun, I keep going back to feel ko talaga walang star tong NU eh. Like I know it's John Lloyd Clemente, pero compared to let's say Lastimosa and Gonzalez,
Caballero.
parang and Caballero, parang hindi talaga parang superstar yung dating ni John Lloyd Clemente. I think he likes to play within the system also. Eh. So um yun, parang that's the problem with NU, but could also be a good thing. They really play team basketball. Don't get me wrong. I like a lot of guys in NU. Figueroa, Malonzo, favorite ko yun sa NU. So they have guys. I just wonder if they can survive and make it to the final four without like a clear superstar or go-to guy.
Maui.
I think similar to Sam, right now ang biggest question ko with NU is who will be the group of guys na consistent. You need 2 to 3 guys na consistently every game will give you buckets and crucial minutes. Right now, it's a jack of all trades. Parang lahat talaga gumagawa. So, it's good and bad. I think it will be good in the long run kasi lahat sila at least contributing. It will be a very deep team. And right now, they're waiting for Steve Nash Enriquez, their floor general. So things could really get better for NU. And I hope that they continue to play within the system. Yung coach nila is very good. I think they can really surprise a lot of teams. Similar na nung nag-deep run sila sa Phil Oil. But again, it would be a question of consistency. Having those 2 to 3 guys na consistently gumagawa every game would be very crucial to any team.
Yeah. NU has a lot of similar good players. No one stands
Yeah.
out like you're both saying. They're all similar players. Like when you watch them, si Figueroa, si Clemente, si Manansala, si Malonzo, si Minerva, they're all the same players. Um, no one's they all played in a similar way. I do have one note from watching them in the first 2 games. Their backup point guard, or I think was their starting point guard, si Patrick Yu. That guy is one dirty bastard.
Ang dami
Have you?
yung ano, no? Ang dami yung
Yeah,
hard fouls.
he's a dirty. Hindi siya hard foul sa amin. Magulang siya and sin, uh, ano siya tinatago niya yung mga dirty plays niya. But that guy is one dirty mother F.
May flagrant foul siya, di ba?
Yeah, may isang ano siya, unsportsmanlike foul. I can go against Dave nung last game. Si Dave Valdefonso. Na he was trying to hold him down during the rebound. Tapos ginagrab niya yung arm ni Dave. He's just like Kib Montalvo. Kib Montalvo is not dirty. Yung si Kib.
Hindi naman dirty si Kib. Ano lang, aggressive.
Hindi naman siya dirty. Pero magulang. Pero yung reactions niya, pang nahuhuli siya.
Yun nga eh.
Yung parang, ano ginawa ko? Parang, bro, you're a fucking dirty player. Stop acting like you did nothing. Diba? Ganun si Kim eh. Ganun si Kim eh. Pag may ginawa si Kim, parang wala siyang ginawa. Ganun si Patrick Yu. So, that's my only observation in watching NU. I kind of annoys me Patrick Yu, but all other players are pretty solid. And that's it. And that's the thing. They're all just really solid. And no one stands out. So we're gonna see who makes it. Is it the teams who rely on one guy for their offense, or is it the lone team NU who relies on team basketball who will make it to the Final Four? All right, so let's move on to our last 3. Tama ba? Have we moved on from
tama.
The big 3?
So our last 3, let's go. Top contenders. Let's go to LaSalle first, since they're the only ones who have a loss so far. Let's go to LaSalle. Maui, what have you observed so far from
I think
LaSalle?
With LaSalle, yung question is similar to yung last year. When Winston doesn't go, who do they go to for offense? Nonoy has played 2 very inconsistent games. Yung first game, sobrang dami niyang tinira, yung chucking shots all over the court. I think he took 17 shots in 20 minutes. And then the following game, when Evan Nelly was not playing, he played close to 30 minutes or 30 minutes, and he took 4 shots, but he had like 5 steals and a lot of rebounds and assists. So I think
he was the best plus minus in that game, if I remember.
Yeah, a big contrast to the first game na nilaro ni Nonoy. So I think first Nonoy has to settle down as the 6th man of LaSalle. Second is they have to find another key guy. Michael Phillips will fill up the box score, but he will not score a ton of points. During the preseason, actually ang second scorer nila, I think, was CJ Austria. So he had a very good last game. So I think very crucial for LaSalle to find that secondary scorer na talagang consistent, so that Nelly and Nonoy can really pick their spots. They don't have to force shots. Kasi right now, pag nakikita mo, pag si Winston check na check, si Nelly surprisingly and si Nonoy are just chucking up shots left and right, and they don't know where to go. So this is what happened especially nung NU game. Their game against UP, which is why they lost a big lead. So hopefully LaSalle finds that second consistent scorer. I think it's gonna be either Nelly or Nonoy or hopefully also CJ Ostea.
Sam.
Yeah. Yeah, good points by Maui. I think for me two things lang in addition to what Maui said. I think number one, sobrang nakakatakot pa rin tong defense ng Lasal, lalo na yung full court press niya. We nag-uusap tayo sa chat yung against UP when they scored 8 straight points off of four straight steals dun sa 4 straight turnovers dun sa half full court press nila against UP. That's really scary. So I think sobrang legit pa rin itong Pumarin press na to. I'm actually very worried about Lasal versus Ateneo tomorrow kasi pag walang Padrigaw, mawawala yung bola sa atin, hindi natin mababa yung bola. So, I think super legit pa rin yung full court press ng Lasal this year. The second thing that I wanted to say, I think, if tingnan mo yung talent and yung pieces that Lasal has, complete na sila eh. I think they're a very complete team. Marami talaga silang players and talents and different types of contributors. I think how far they'll go this year will really depend on Kevin Kiambao. I think siya yung pinaka magiging catalyst. And it's obviously like ngayon pa lang, rookie pa lang siya. I really believe na it's really Kevin Kiambao's team. Not Mike. Tama si Maui eh. Like Mike Phillips will fill out the box score pero he's not gonna score a lot for you. Para siya, si Mike Phillips for me, para siyang Xavier Lucero eh, ng UP eh. Like, siya yung stats-wise, like, siguro siya yung the best. Pero, I think the one that will really run the offense, I think si Kevin Kiambao. And, minalas lang, I mean, it was a close game against UP, pero Kevin Kiambao was like really bad in that game. Yung last few minutes na lang siya gumawa, diba? So, syempre rookie pa lang. As this game slows down for him, I think Lasal will do even better once Kevin Kiambao gets the hang of things. But na-imagine ko pa lang like the guys around Kevin Kiambao, like really solid players and contributors. I think he's the missing piece. So abang natin yung Lasal kapag sumipa na si Kevin Kiambao. But like he did well na nung second game. So we'll see kung consistent siya. Gab.
So it's my turn. Maui, I love your point about Mark Nonoy. I think that's his perfect role. Since last year, I think Sam, was it you or me who called them a bust for this year? I think it was you.
Ako yun.
Yeah,
First game.
I think it was
Bust.
Yeah, but tama si Maui pare eh. Ito yung dapat yung ginagawa ni Mark Nonoy. Hindi yung guy comes off the bench tapos titira lang ng sobrang dami. Because that's been his role since last year in Lasal. Oo, like, I think yun rin yung sabi sa kanya ni Manong Derek eh, na, ikaw yung six man natin, pagpasok, go lang, tumira ka lang. So I think that's what he's been doing and it's kind of not working for him. Kasi, kabado siya and it's not always gonna go in. But, if he becomes that UST version of Mark Nonoy, when he's the guy dictating the offense, dictating the pace, being so disruptive on defense. Ganun si Mark Nonoy. He's so fast, he's so disruptive on defense. And he can drive at will because of his speed. He can set up his teammates for open shots.
Balance.
That's supposed to be yes, exactly, Maui. That's supposed to be his role. Yun yung strength niya eh. And I don't think his strength is just to be a spitfire scorer off the bench. I think if Manong Derek wants to use Mark Nonoy properly, stagger him with Evanele. And then, Shawnee Winston, wala tayong magagawa kay Shawnee Winston. He just loves to shoot. He will shoot. Let him be that guy. I think he's perfect for that role. Yung guy, the guard who scores, who shoots a lot. I don't think that's Mark Nonoy's game. Yun lang. If Mark Nonoy buys into that, to be that guy he was in UST, I think it'll be a whole lot better. Yung I was saying earlier, he was tops in plus minus during the Lasal UST game. And he took 4 shots. Good point talaga, Mao. He took 4 shots. Was the best player on the court for Lasal. Just to point, Kevin Kiambao, yung nakita yung pasa ni Kiambao nung second half nung Lasal UST game. Yung finake niya yung handoff, tapos nag-no-look fast siya sa backdoor sa baseline. Tangin lang yan.
Yeah.
Ibang klase,
Yung
ibang
marinig,
klase, Kevin Cambao.
Ibang klase.
marinig mo sa TV yung wow ng crowd. Diba? Wow!
Tsaka alam mo, surprising for me, kay Kevin Cambao, the most surprising right now is nag-start na mag-transition yung game niya to, I think, to a small forward. He's starting to take threes, he's driving. Hindi na yung puro mga high post na pasa na similar to how Miami uses like Abama Adebayo. Talagang kakaiba na talaga, may kakaiba yung playmaking and he's rounding up. So I think Sam is right. Lasal will be Kevin Campbell's team probably after Winston graduates this year. And I think just like Sam said, they will go as far as Kevin Campbell, kung gaano consistent si Kevin Campbell and Mark Nonoy. Tingin ko. Kasi consistent naman na si Phillips, Winston, and Evanelli will step up kasi he's an experienced player. He's big time. He has championships under his belt nung San Beda. But the question is, will Nonoy and Kiambao buy into the system and find ways to contribute?
Right. Alright. So, tama na tayo sa Lasal. Yung sila na
Napahaba. Napasarap yung usapan sa Lasal.
Yung sila yung top, yung prediction natin sa maging champion.
Oo nga.
We gotta stay there. So, let's go to our alma mater next. Go to Ateneo. Let's give UP, since let's save the best for last, since UP is the best.
Save the champions.
Let's go to Ateneo. Anything you want to chime in? Sam, you go first. Any question, note that you had for our Blue Eagles during the first two games?
Yeah, ako first thing lang last week when we talked about parang the player that we expected to improve the most or surprise the most ba yun or something, and I remember I picked Fortsky Padrigao, medyo homer pick, pero I think valid naman yung pick na yun just watching from the first two games. Kung si Nick Caballero like super crucial or si Jerome Lastimosa crucial sa teams nila, tayo din si Fortsky, parang it's so hard to like set the offense or get the offense going pag wala si Fortsky. Actually, I was watching the first game with my dad, yung FEU, and my dad walked out nung umupo si Fortsky, tapos si Chris na yung naglalaro. Parang he walked out kasi he just couldn't watch the game. Sobrang sakit daw panoorin. So I'm glad na nag-mature na si Fortsky and he's ready to take over. I'm just worried na yung bench natin, it's not that deep. Big loss talaga sa atin si SJ. Definitely a big loss. Another thing I noticed lang or like observation other than that is like I think Ange is still sort of getting back into shape. So despite that, okay naman yung contributions niya, but I feel like hopefully he gets back into shape this season para mas maging, I think that would improve din yung defense natin and yung rotation. Right now parang he's parang like a step slower for me from my observation. So hopefully that would improve, no. Yun lang naman for me. Maui.
Ako naman ang main comment ko lang with our alma mater Ateneo right now is that I've seen enough to conclude that we will contend. We will contend for this year's crown. The question is if we can get the second or first seed. But Ange Kawi is okay, but he will get into better shape. Hopefully, doesn't get injured. Padrigao is filling in nicely for SJ Belangel. It's as if SJ did not leave. For me, as Sammy mentioned, ang main issue right now ng Ateneo is yung depth nung lineup. This is similar to to Tab Baldwin's second year in Ateneo, nung wala pa talagang solid contribution sa bench. This was before SJ Belangel or Gian Mamuyak started to step up, or even Tyler Tio, who blew up nung final year niya, stepped up. I think the main questions that Ateneo has to answer is who will step up sa bench, who will be the secondary playmaker, and sino magiging backup ni Ange right now. Kasi before we had the luxury of always having the ever reliable Isaac Go. But right now, the question is, same with last year, who will back up Ange? But I think Ateneo is in a good spot. I don't expect them to sweep the eliminations, but hopefully I think they will contend with UP and LaSalle for the top 2 slots.
Great points to both of you. I just have a thing for Forsky Padrigao kasi plus 20 siya nung first game, tapos nung second game plus 18 siya. So talagang live or die with Forsky Padrigao. I do think that Tab Baldwin is experimenting a bit.
Yeah.
No? Parang he's experimenting with line. What he has a starting five, but as to who relieves that starting five, parang he's still trying to figure out who exactly will the right combination. I'm kind of suspect with putting Chris Kuhn as the backup point guard. I don't think that's his best position. That's his best role. Because yung strength ni Chris Kuhn is his shooting. And he doesn't shoot a lot when he's the backup point guard. He's not much of a playmaker. And he's not much of a ball. Well, he can handle the ball. Pero
Secondary
you can
ball
see
handler.
Secondary ball handler, but he's just the primary ball handler. I don't think he's that guy. If Tab Baldwin is gonna stick with it, God help us for the rest of the season, because he will need Forsky Padrigao to carry the load talaga kung si Chris Kuhn yung primary ball handler ng second unit. Which is weird because we have Paul Garcia right there on the bench. And nung preseason, Tab Baldwin was using Paul Garcia as the as the backup point guard, diba? And now we don't see him. Like, and the only time we did see him was it's kind of weird talaga. And I'm sort of thinking that Coach Tab is experimenting lang with Chris Kuhn as the backup point guard. But I don't think that's a solution that he should stick with. It's rough. Pang wala si Forsky sa loob. It's rough talaga. It's really rough. Chris Kuhn is a cumulative, I think, minus 15 in 2 games because he's the backup point guard. So, yun lang. So, anything else you guys want to point out?
I think that's it for Ateneo right now.
We saw Kyle Ong for the first time. I think that's the first time he's played in the last... Since he entered the school.
Yeah.
First time he played 50 seconds. Good for him.
One last comment lang sa Ateneo. And sinabi ko to sa inyo guys, like sabi ko, bakit yung mga coach tab teams kailangan laging merong LaSalle High School star na bangko, and then like so dati si Troy, ngayon si Fornelius. And then yung isa pang observation ko is like kailangan lagi siyang merong 6'7" Chinese project na big man, di ba? So Isaac Go, Gio Chu, and now it's like Ong, no? So lagi siyang may ganung type of player. Wala lang, observations ko lang. Go, UP.
Although ito lang yung last ko. I do like that he's using Matthew Daves at times to be the backup center. Si Matthew Daves. I think he does it when the other team goes small. So when Aj needs a rest, and we all know Gio Chu can't handle small lineups on defense because he's slow. So putting Matthew Daves with either Kai Balungay or Josh Lazaro there, I think gives a lot of versatility. So I I like that move. Okay, last. Let's go to UP, who's in danger right now of losing their first game. Yeah, they're down by 3, but uh, anything of note to UP? I think they've just been the same team since last year. Comeback kings nga, diba? Tatambakan sila, tapos hahabulin lang nila.
For me, I
Maui.
think yung sorry. I think ang biggest question sa UP right now is who will be the primary ball handler. Si Kagulangan has been out and Terence Fortea has been fantastic. I think this was the Terence Fortea they expected last year, but Kagulangan really stole the show. He just took the starting point guard slot, and Fortea has been filling in nicely. But who will be the shooting guard or secondary ball handler? I've seen them give the ball to Tamayo on multiple occasions sa perimeter, and I think yung biggest strength nila is really si Tamayo down the block and hitting those pick and pop threes. But right now, who will fill in the slot of Cancino and Rivero? Both of them are very crucial for me. Both of them hit those crucial shots, hit those crucial free throws, and the ball were in their hands nung crunch time. Will Carl Tamayo be able to live as a secondary ball handler? Will UP decide to continue to be like that pagdating ni Kagulangan, or will Terence Fortea slide into the two-star? I don't know. But so far, UP has been very good as advertised. But
Yes.
they can still improve by a lot. They're a very scary team, I think.
Yes. Just to your point, Maui, with the play so far of Terence Fortea, he's been fantastic. With the play of Terence Fortea and the emergence of a guy named Cyril Gonzalez, and we
Yeah.
have Harold Alarcon. Now I'm really more parang nagtataka pa rin ako talaga. Mas lalo ang nagtataka ngayon kung bakit lumipat si Torres sa si Pedesilda sa UP. Kasi talaga sobrang deep ng UP.
How will he
Bakit
play?
kayo lumipat?
Diba?
Oh, nakakalaro. So, talaga, Fortea's playing really well. Si Abadjano nga yung naging odd man out for some weird reason, no? Cyril Gonzalez is taking on that backup role kay Terence Fortea. Abadjano's not playing as much. We have Alarcon, and I'm missing someone. This guy, si RC Kalimag. So he's another
Kalimag.
guy who's playing big minutes for UP. So I don't know, just Janjan Felicilda. I don't know why you left NU, but yeah, you're gonna ride the bench in UP. Good luck, Sammy.
Yeah, nothing to add. I think UP is still the number one contender to win the championship. Number one favorite to win the championship. Wala pa si Kagulangan. So once he's back, they'll be back in full strength. For me, ano lang, the only thing I want to say is right now I want to apologize to Terence Fortea for like considering him as one of the busts this year. He was so good. Like, sobrang galing niya in his first two games. So, sorry Terence Fortea, pero bilib na ako ulit sa'yo. So, yun lang naman. Really great job filling in for Kagulangan.
Yep. I think it was Maui who said, nung high school, yung Tennis Forte was really the guy. Diba?
Yes,
It
he
was not
was.
Carl Tamayo. It wasn't Carl Tamayo or Kevin Kiambao or all these guys. Terence Forte was the guy in the NU Bullpups team. So I'm glad we're finally seeing. I was really high on Terence Forte last season. Sabi ko,
Right.
this guy is a candidate for Rookie of the Year. Pero putya, si JD Kagulangan naging starting point guard nila. So yun, I'm very happy with how UP is playing. I like watching UP games because surely it's gonna be an exciting game. They haven't disappointed. Lahat ng games sila close game. So they love to make comebacks, and I still think yung they're the team to beat. So Guys, anything to add for this episode before we sign off?
I think we
Um,
covered most of the questions for those teams, but
Nice.
hopefully, what we want is competition. So hopefully, all the teams continue to be competitive and so will continually surprise us this year.
agreed.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good way to end it, Maui. I agree. Thanks, guys.
All
We
right.
did it.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Boleros podcast. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share the show if you want to. You leave a comment. Think tell us what you've thought of these first few games in the UAAP and continue watching our shows. Bye
Thank
bye.
you. Bye
Sorry.
bye.
By the way, doon sa mga nagtatanong kung nasan si Dale, she's studying in Australia right now. So, we'll see if she has time to join in one of our shows. Pero, she wants to focus on her studies muna. To those asking. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.